Over the years, I've attended my fair share of 3D printing events such as maker fairs and rep festivals, and those events are awesome. They showcase all sorts of projects and custom 3D printers built by members of the community like myself and all of you. It's a place for us to come together to show our creativity and to show all the cool, awesome stuff we're working on. However, up until now, I have not attended an event that focuses more on the industrial side of 3D printing and additive manufacturing. That all changed this past April when I had the chance to attend Rapid Plus TCT. For those that don't know, Rapid Plus TCT is North America's largest 3D printing and additive manufacturing event that's housed yearly. This event brings industries and professionals from all over the globe under one roof to show latest technologies and trends in the additive manufacturing and 3D printing space. This was my first time attending Rapid Plus TCT, and to be honest, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I have been to more technical trade shows in years past for my day job, but I still wasn't sure what to really expect as a first-timer. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the cool things I got to see and witness at my first time at Rapid Plus TCT, and hopefully give you guys a look at where the technology is going and where the trends are in today's additive manufacturing and 3D printing markets. And not to spoil anything, but there was some really cool stuff there in the day and a half I was there. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. The trade show floor at Rapid Plus TCT was filled to the brim with companies and different displays and all sorts of cool technology that it honestly became a little overwhelming when I first got to the event, and trying to figure out where to start, it was a tough question. Let's start with 3D printers, because obviously there were 3D printers at a 3D printing event, and there were quite a few noticeably big 3D printers, like this one machine here from Big Rep. I was also able to check out this new product offering from Mingda as well. Another company showing off their large format 3D printers was Pantheon Design. Their booth was super cool, and all of their machines they had were amazing to look at, including their new prototype 3D printer, and this thing was built like a tank. The bearings on this thing were massive. They actually had one off to the side to hold, and you can see how robust this machine looks. It was printing during the event, and it was super cool to see, and it looked really awesome. And they also had some of their examples of the cool stuff they print with their machines, like these motorbikes here, which were pretty awesome to see up close. There were also a few companies showing off their latest technology in 3D scanning, and it was really cool to see that as well. It is very useful for reverse engineering parts as well as design analysis. I stopped by the Elegoo booth a little bit to check out all their cool 3D printers, including the newer Centauri Carbon 2. I also checked out Anycubic's booth, and they were showing off all of their printers, including their newer Cobra X. There were also many material companies that we are all familiar with in the consumer market. Polymaker, they had a nice display at the event. They had a really cool 3D printed drum kit, as well as showing off their new XL poly dryer box. I also stopped by the eSun booth right across and checked out all of their materials and saw their new material dryer. I also got to check out the Snapmaker booth and checked out their new U1, as well as the new top hat for the U1. They also had some really cool demos at their booth, including a modified Snapmaker U1 that made you a cup of coffee. Yes, a cup of coffee. This was in collaboration with Print Kits, and this Snapmaker U1 was modified with a custom display and G-code to be able to pour you a cup of coffee and also add cream and sugar. This was one of the coolest things I saw at the event, and the cup of coffee itself was delicious. Creality also had a very nice booth showcasing all of their different technologies and materials, as well as a look into their 3D printed shoe line, which I actually got to try on a pair of these for myself, and I can safely say they're one of the most comfortable things I've put on my feet. These were super cool. Many industrial-focused companies like Stratasys, Formlabs, and 3D Systems were also at the event. They all had really nice displays showcasing their rapid prototyping solutions, as well as the different materials they're able to print with. All of these displays had really cool parts to check out, and seeing how some of these materials apply to different industries was also really neat to learn about. Blew my mind to see the intricacies of these metal 3D prints. One of the other really cool things I got to see at Rapid Plus TCT was this 5-axis 3D printer from Unlayered 3D. They had it demoing at the event, and I also got to see them at Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival too. Another thing that topped my list of coolest things at Rapid Plus TCT was the Rapid Liquid Print booth. This company has a 3D printer that utilizes a vat of gel to print a part of silicone or softer material in place that can print different durometers and different material types, which is super cool to see because normally parts like this are usually injection molded. So the fact that they had all these different parts on display and to see their applications, this blew me away. I would love to have one of these machines in my home one day. Speaking of other materials, there were many other 3D printers on display printing non-plastic materials, such as this Lithos ceramic 3D printer, as well as this metal 3D printer from Meltio. There was even a company that had a desktop injection molding machine, which also really piqued my interest since I do a lot of that type of work for my day job. We also can't talk about 3D printing without talking about Prusa. First off, I got to see and learn about the Prusa Pro automated farm system. Anthony from Prusa gave me the whole rundown and demo of the farm system, and I have to say this is super impressive. Many of the mechanics of each of the machines are taken from the Prusa XL design. They were demoing the farm system by printing out these really cool Rapid Plus TCT badge holders. Also has automated build plate removal and storage. There's also sensors and LED indicators showing the status of each machine. I also got to see their silicone tool head attachments for the Prusa XL and got to witness that machine printing the 2-part silicone material in real time. The parts off the machine were amazing to feel. I also got to see the latest version of the Bondtech Index tool heads retrofitted on many of their Core 1s and Core 1 Pluses at their booth. And I could safely say this is super impressive. I am very excited to see what the future of the Index holds for not just these machines, but for many other 3D printers in the consumer market. Super clean movements, super lightweight looking tool heads, and the waste that this was giving off on the Core 1 Plus was very little to none, just these little tiny specks in between color changes. All in all, Rapid Plus TCT was an amazing event. I got to see a lot of really cool technology, and I definitely want to make it back here again next year. And there you have it, our Rapid Plus TCT recap. This was just a fraction of what everything that was there at the event this past year. I was only at the event for a day and a half. I had a very tight schedule because I was trying to get back home to get ready for Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival, which I'll have video recap content coming very shortly after this video goes live. But it was such a cool event. What did you guys think of the recap? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if there was anything you want to know more about or a deep dive about. Hopefully I've piqued your interest enough to look at maybe attending next year's event. I certainly am definitely going to try to make it to next year's event. I thought it was a great event, and as an engineer myself, I was able to really appreciate the more industrial side of 3D printing and additive manufacturing, and I'm really excited to see what the future of this industry brings with all this really cool technology we're seeing. If you went to Rapid Plus TCT this past year in Boston, Massachusetts, what was your favorite thing you saw at the event? Let me know down in the comments. And let me know if I missed anything that I needed to check out or need to keep an eye out for next year's event. But that's going to wrap up today's video on our Rapid Plus TCT recap. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys appreciated this video and enjoyed today's content, please go hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing? Go hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel. It helps me grow and continue my content. So please go subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I post my next video. With that all said, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you all again so much for being here. I greatly appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, and until next time, everybody, Keep doing it big.